Good afternoon, everybody. We have our first a couple storms that have popped up in eastern Ohio that have gone severe. We do have one warning in effect here, although we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for eastern Ohio. Go ahead and overlay that just to get you guys started and caught up here. We do have, go and turn this on. Here we go. All these areas here in yellow is your watch area. Spans over to Mansfield, Akron, Canton, Youngstown, back down toward East Liverpool, Wheeling, all the way down to Zanesville, Cambridge, Woodsfield area. This is your severe thunderstorm watch. This is going to be for a couple tornadoes possible, as well as mainly damaging winds and large hail. This is going to be until, where's the end time on this? Uh, where's the end time on this? Anyway, it goes until at least probably 10 or 11 p.m. tonight, if not a little bit later on. There it is, until 11 p.m. There it is. Sorry, guys. So this is a watch in effect for Eastern Ohio until 11 p.m. And this is going to be for, again, a few tornadoes possible, as well as mainly damaging winds and large hail. So we do have three counties currently under a severe thunderstorm warning. One is Mahoning County, Trumbull County, as well as looks like what county? Portage County as well. That's going to go until 5:45 tonight, and this is going to be warned for 1 inch hail as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds. Looking at some of these storms velocity wise, not seeing any rotation or anything like that at this point. Just would be apparently some gusty winds embedded in that line there. We do have a couple of radars that are closer to the ground as this moves more so towards Pittsburgh. We do have airport radar here to give us an idea of what's happening a little bit closer to the ground, have a better idea what those winds are doing on the surface and stuff like that. How about now? Have I been talking this entire time? You guys haven't been able to hear me? I apologize. My microphone should not have been muted. All right, let's go ahead and start that over then. So, we do have a couple things to go over. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 11 p.m. We're going to get that on the screen here and again in just a minute. All right, I apologize about that, guys. I did not realize that I was muted. So we do have a couple things to go over. First and foremost, your severe thunderstorm watch. Go ahead and put that on the screen. Is in yellow here. Expands all the way from Youngstown, just south of Cleveland, all the way over to Mansfield, down south to just east of Columbus, all the way down towards Zanesville, Woodsfield, Wheeling, all the way up here toward East Liverpool, Youngstown, all the way into Ohio, or all the way, should I say, to Pennsylvania. But this account more so focuses on the Ohio portion. We're not going to really cover Pennsylvania at this point. But we do have two warnings that are in effect that are severe for the counties of Trumbull, Mahoning, as well as Portage County. Goes until 5:45. Go ahead and take the watch off the screen for you guys so you'll be able to see this a little bit better. There we go. So this is your warning currently in effect here. These storms moving at about 50 to 60 miles per hour. They do look pretty healthy. Radar is indicating golf ball size hail is falling with these storms. So it is quite significant. Looking at a few of the other products we have, for example, our VIL product, this is basically just measuring potential hail size with these storms. And this is going to be measuring hail over the Parkman area is just under the 2-inch in diameter. So we're talking larger than golf balls possible with these storms that are radar indicated. Now, we haven't had any reports so far of anything severe, although we do have some spotters who are going to be out in the area today. So we will be getting some type of reports coming in eventually. If there's anything severe, we'll know about it. But at this point in time, nothing that we have seen has been severe. But this warning does remain in effect for the next 30 minutes. And these storms are really starting to fire up and pop up here. No rotation that we're seeing on radar at this point in time, although that could change. There is a low risk, or should I say a lower type of risk today, for a tornado or two in the area. It's definitely a possibility, although I don't see that being the case as of right now. That can change quickly. It's just at this point in time, I'm not really seeing much of anything to be too concerned about on velocity at this point in time. That watch does go back further to the west here. This is caught my eye right here, but brighter velocity coming back. Let's check that out really quick. Yeah, that area right there between Mecca and Farmington Township there, that has a little bit of a higher velocity signature coming in. And my laptop is about to die. I got to plug that in. There we go. So this is going to be heading into the Champion area near Cortland, heading into the Youngstown proper area eventually, as well as Niles, Warren. So this population in the path of this is roughly about 500,000 to 600,000 people that are out in front of these storms here. So it's quite a populated area here. This is the area I was talking about here with some brighter velocity showing up here just north of Champion, heading in toward the Cortland area, moving off to the east-southeast at about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Now, I did mention that there was the watch that goes all the way back here toward Mansfield, all the way back to this area. I don't see anything on radar at this point to be concerned about. We do have some showers and storms right here, although they are not anything impressive, at least at this point in time. We may still see some things try to form all the way back here toward Norwalk, all the way back through. There's a line of storms, or at least some a front moving through there that may try to spark off some of these showers and storms. Although currently there's nothing here that could fill in as evening goes on. The more so activity here is over here in the very far eastern portion of Ohio here. These are moving east-southeast at roughly 60 miles per hour. There is your movement for you guys. So heading right into the Youngstown area, as well as Boardman, and eventually heading probably toward the Pittsburgh area. For those of you who are watching from out of our coverage area, this is heading into the Pittsburgh area in the next hour to 2 hours here. For some odd reason, I'm not sure if it's just moving. I was not prepared for this. There we go. That's what I want. Yeah, these are moving pretty quickly. My animation speed is on slow. So I was kind of curious if the animation speed was just making these storms look to be faster than what they, are actually going here. But no, these are actually moving pretty fast. New hail size, according to radar, is about golf ball at this point. We're going to have to watch that storm north of Champion closely here. We're going to zoom in on this on the other radar here. We're going to take that full. We're seeing indication on the right side of your screen there, just to the north of Champion on the highway. That is an area that I'm watching closely here. It's in the right area as well, potentially for either number one, a downburst, or perhaps some rotation trying to form with that one. I don't think it's rotation at this point, but it might be the start of something. More so speaking, it's probably a downburst or a microburst, as we call it, when hail hits the ground, or sometimes rain as well. Hits the ground with such force, it kind of spreads outward, causes some really gusty winds with this. So potentially that could be ongoing there. At this point in time, we're going to call it that until we have some further information here. But that could be an area to watch here in the next couple of scans. What direction are they heading? That's going to be south-southeast. I live in Circleville, Ohio. I don't believe you are in the path of these. I will double check. I am not too familiar with this side of Ohio. I'm from Michigan, so I'm not really familiar with too many areas outside Northwest Ohio, but I will definitely double check on that for you. Yeah, so you're just south of Columbus there. You're going to be clear for right now, but you're going to be paying attention later on this evening. I don't think there's going to be much in the way of activity that far south and that far west. Nothing on radar currently, but I'll keep an eye on that for you. If anything does happen for your area, I'll let you know. A lot of lightning with these storms. Katie says she's in Mount Gilead. You're going to be north of the Columbus area. Right now, you are in the clear. There could be some storms later on this evening for you, but at this point in time, you're in the clear. Any chance of storms firing north of Lake Erie and South Niagara? No, I don't think there's going to be any activity further north here. This is your boundary. We're kind of watching for storm development. So anything north of this line, like Cleveland, you're in the clear for now. I'd say anywhere along the lakeshore here is in the clear. I don't think we're going to see any redevelopment further north. I always stay alert during a chance for severe weather. Yes, that is a smart move there. We do have that wash that extends further back here toward Mansfield. We don't see anything on radar there, but this line could extend further to the west as time goes on in the evening hours. We do have what we call a cap in place today, which is kind of limiting storm development. If that cap erodes, which sometimes it can as we head into the evening hours, it can erode, and that also can help storms get up and going. So as we get closer to sunset, we could see more storms beginning to fire up to further west. So these storms currently are over Farmington Township, heading in toward the Champion Township area. Warren, you guys are going to be in this as well. Newton Falls, Cortland, Hartford, Fowler, Brookfield Township, Niles, you guys are all in the path of this storm. And for those of you watching out of state from Pennsylvania, these storms extend all the way back, and they continue to further back. Hold on, how far do these go? It's an entire line here across Pennsylvania, northern Pennsylvania here, which is that boundary we've been talking about for the past couple of days here. We expect the storms to fire on. So all throughout Pennsylvania and all throughout eastern Ohio, there is a risk for severe weather today. The main population center is going to be here in the Youngstown area. There we go. Let's check out our VIL product again here and see if we can pick up anything here. Yep, so there's your hail cores. This is a good indication here of water droplets or anything larger than normal water droplet size. So this would be like your small, large hail, anything like that, getting are sent out from the storms basically to the ground. This is going to pick it up. Similar tool here with correlation coefficient as well. We use correlation coefficient for tornado tracking and stuff like that, but this is a good indication of some hail as well falling in these storms. But mainly the thing we're going to look at here is VIL product for hail. We can see really large hail cores on these. This is as of 10 minutes ago. So you're probably likely entering the Warren area. It's probably down here now. So if you guys are in the path of these storms in Mahoning County, you guys should be in your inside. I wouldn't say, I mean, if you want to go to your safe place, nothing wrong with that. There's no rotation on radar currently that we're seeing for tornadoes, but you don't want to be outside and get the first golf ball size hailstone on your head. So definitely best to move indoors here. This warning now has been upgraded to golf ball size hail as well as 60 miles per hour on the winds. It expires at 5:45 Eastern time. It's going to be for the counties of Trumbull, Portage, and oh boy, I'm gonna butcher this. Guaja counties. Somebody from the area can help me with that one, but I'm not going to even try to pronounce that. Let's go ahead and get back on our radar here. Take a zoom out look here, animate this. Yeah, good thing at this point, I'm not seeing any signs of rotation. And if this is all of the storms we're going to have tonight, that'd be great. If we're going to be tying to the furthest east part of Pennsylvania, that'd be awesome if we did. Although that chance of severe weather does continue towards 11 p.m. tonight as per the watch that was issued by the NWS. Or should I say SPC? We are seeing a good indication that these storms are producing a good wind gust front. We call it a gust front. We look at our velocity here. We're going to see it on the velocity. Go ahead and circle it here where you see this dark coloration within all the brighter coloration. That's your gust front there. That's going to be producing, that's the part of the storm that's going to probably get gusty winds, perhaps severe winds going on with these storms as well. Definitely a possibility. That is going to be heading in toward Warren in the next couple of minutes. Should be past or over Cortland, Hermitage, Sharpsville, Pennsylvania, Brookfield Township. You guys are on deck there. Niles is on deck. Newton Falls, you're on deck. Youngstown proper, you guys are also on deck for that. This is producing a lot of lightning. Still not seeing any signs of rotation, which is great news. See if Pittsburgh's radar is going to be picking up on these yet. Just about. So Pittsburgh Airport's radar down here is actually a good tool that we're going to use once these storms come further to the south here. We also have a storm firing up now near Canton that's starting to form and strengthen here. It's been some rain over the past couple of scans. It's now starting to strengthen here. So down by Canton area, this is moving in toward New Philadelphia, Carrollton, Urichville. Probably butchered that name as well. You guys are in the path of this, not currently severe, but that will likely continue to develop and strengthen. So we'll likely get a warning for this next probably about 15 minutes or so, I'd say, as that moves off to the east-southeast. We're getting some other development here further to the west. Perhaps a start here of something trying to form to the west of this on this line here. So much further south at this point than what that watch, I guess it's not too far south, but that watch does extend all the way over here to eastern Columbus area. So we're going to likely see storms continue to develop here as the afternoon and evening goes on. All right, we got our first severe hail report coming out of the West Farmington area. NWS employee reports hail of dime to quarter size just east of Parkman. That is reported by the people or the government agency themselves, the National Weather Service employee. That was reported as of 5:14. So this storm does now have a history of producing severe hail. Every time you say tornado, I'll take a shot. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to get these set up here. So any warnings that get issued go straight to my phone, so I'll know about it as soon as they're issued here. So if I'm looking this way, looking that way, it's because I have a laptop on my left and my phone in the center here, and my radar is up here on my right. So I'm looking everywhere. Go ahead and put the hail back on here. Actually, let's go ahead and take a split screen on this. We'll do a hail on the right side, and we'll do just regular radar on the left side. There we go. As of 5 minutes ago, that is where your hail is falling, just between Southington and Newton Falls, about over Warren, Cortland area, Fowler. This is heading into Youngstown proper area. So people in Youngstown need to be inside, but people's cars, especially maybe some even windows, potentially might be blown out with this storm here as it moves into a more populated area. We're starting to enter the more not rural, but urban areas here in Eastern Ohio. We were over more so rural areas, so that was lucky, but the storm is continuing to strengthen as it heads into a populated area. So go ahead and draw on the right side of your screen here. You have hail. And then on this side, you have just your regular rain. Looking on our velocity, I still don't see much in the way of anything to be concerned about with rotation-wise. A few storms in Pennsylvania do look kind of interesting, though. But as far as Ohio goes, we're not seeing much in the way of anything to be concerned about at this point in time. There is a threat today for a couple tornadoes. Although if these storms are all that it's going to be, we're likely going to have a very quick threat here for Ohio. But still, those impacted are going to feel the effects of these storms. So it's not going to be, a bust or anything like that. This is still what we've expected to happen. We're getting some reports of large hail. We have another report coming in now from the Warren area of $half size hail. Reported as of 2 minutes ago by Train Spotter. Interesting. So we're getting just north of Warren here. We're getting some hail up to right around $half size. So it's about 1.5 or 1.25 inch hail, I want to say. So it's just above a quarter size. The little storm that went by us in Akron looks spooky. Let's go and check that out. Yep, we're getting some more development now further to the west. That just exploded out of nowhere. Check this out. The storm, here's Akron here. Here's this little storm just popped up over Hartville. Let's go back 2 scans. 1, 2. Just a little teeny tiny rain shower. Within 2 scans. Boom. We'll watch those as they continue off. They're still not mature, but with the environment today, these will likely mature very, very quickly. A couple of these areas out here, just north, in Pennsylvania near Mercer, have a couple areas of interest for rotation. Luckily, they're outside our coverage area, but they do look quite intriguing, I must say. Moving into the Pittsburgh radar here pretty soon. We'll go ahead and switch that over. Yeah, there you go. Over here in Pennsylvania, that's what we're kind of watching there where that green and red are meeting. Go ahead and flip that back to the screen here. So This is off Pennsylvania's radar, Pittsburgh's radar. We're getting some areas of rotation to our east in Pennsylvania there. So likely going to have probably a couple of warnings in the next couple of minutes over there if that continues to strengthen. Right now, though, over in Ohio, definitely not anything to be concerned about with tornadoes. But these storms are packing a punch, and they're moving right into Youngstown proper here. Large hail up to golf ball size is possible, as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds. We have not gotten any warnings yet for Youngstown proper. I'm not sure why they haven't done that, but they definitely should. Given the reports of the severe hail that have been occurring as previously as about 5 minutes ago. They just shortened that warning now just for, looks like Trumbull County. Train weather spotters reported quarter-size hail near Cortland. And they missed the one. Here's another one coming in now. All right, here's one from a train spotter reporting 1-inch hail as of 6 minutes ago near State Route 5 and State Route 46 near Cortland. So now we're getting some reports now of the hail. They should be issuing this warning here from Mahoning County very shortly, I would assume, for Youngstown proper and perhaps Boardman as well. Let's go ahead and switch over here to Pittsburgh's radar and run with that for a little bit. All right, just got a new warning. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but I just got the alert for a new warning. I'm not sure where it's at, but as soon as we know, I will tell you guys. I'm assuming it's going to be from Mahoning County here. That's the only logical place I would assume they're going to issue one here. Probably something like this. Or something similar to that. Still have not seen it pop in yet. Nope. Pennsylvania. They did not issue the warning here for Mahoning. I'm not sure why they're not, but they must have the reasoning, I guess. So a new warning now to our east in Pennsylvania. So these storms are pretty much over the areas here. Go ahead and pause it here. Brookfield Township, Sharpsville, between Hartford and Brookfield Township, Yankee Lake, Vienna Township, all the way back here, directly over the area of the city of Warren, should I say. That is not a good look at all. Waiting to see reports out of the Warren area. Looking at our storm reports that are coming in, looks like there's hail just above a quarter size falling by radar indicated over the city of Warren here. Still not sure why they're not issuing the warning here from Mahoning. We're seeing a good signature here over Yankee Lake as well for hail as likely severe. Looking at our VIL product again, let's go ahead and switch over here to the other radar here to show you guys our VIL. So the VIL product is just basically a hail tracker, simplified terms. It measures the droplet size, the water droplet size in the atmosphere. So anything larger than just a regular raindrop is going to show up on this. It could be fat raindrops, or it could be, likely in this case, hail, given the history of these storms as well as the environment today. So all these storms really all the way into Pennsylvania are producing hail. But this one in particular over the city of Warren, this one over here by Yankee Lake, and then this area by Howland Center to the east of Howland Center here, getting in on some pretty large hail. Yankee Lake just got a good spike there in hail. Heading into the Hermitage, Pennsylvania area here momentarily. So heading into a pretty populated area between Youngstown and Hermitage. And these two storms back here to the west by Alliance and Canton still are hanging out. They're not really maturing much at all. They should be able to mature in the atmosphere that we have today. So we'll keep an eye on those. But those will be out of the state here in the next probably half hour or so. So this is all we're going to be talking about here. That's going to be awesome. I just got an alert for a new warning as well that just popped in. I'm not sure where. Wait for it to pop in on the screen, as well as my phone here. I'll wait for it, and I'll let you guys know. I'm still waiting from the issue a warning for the Youngstown proper area. Well, these storms might be moving more so eastward now. They're going to probably miss Youngstown, but these renegade storms down here further south are going to be, you know, impacting Youngstown here. So they issued a warning I'm seeing now just to the east. They're not even going to warn the Youngstown proper area, but they warned over here in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Make that make sense. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and $half size hail. That's going to be in Pennsylvania for the counties. Oh, that's a lot of counties. Mercer, Venango, Lawrence, Butler, Jefferson, Armstrong, Forest, and Clarion counties. That's a huge, huge warning. Check that out. That's probably one of the biggest warnings I've ever seen. But yeah, if you guys still live in the Youngstown proper area, all the way up in here toward the Greenville, Pennsylvania, anywhere in between, you guys probably are feeling the effects of these storms right now. A lot of lightning, probably golf ball size hail in these occasionally, but more so quarters consistently. Definitely a possibility with these storms. We have had reports now coming in. There's a couple of other reports, 1-inch hail there. Report coming out of Warren of 1-inch hail by a trained spotter. So these storms are quite significant with terms of hail at this point in time. Still not seeing anything rotation-wise on these storms, at least in Ohio speaking. We're getting some areas of some brighter velocities here over Yankee Lake. That's likely going to be some hail, a large hail core there causing the spike in velocity there. So I'm not going to be surprised if we get some hail reports out of Yankee Lake, Sharpsville, Hermitage area, especially as it moves into a populated area here near Hermitage, Pennsylvania. So Youngstown is about to be impacted by these storms, as well as Boardman, although I might split Youngstown Boardman here. Struthers should be on alert there, New Bedford, all the way up in toward the Newcastle, Pennsylvania, Grove City. I know Pennsylvania is not our area to cover, but these storms will be on top of you here if you guys are watching from those areas pretty quickly. The environment today is definitely more supportive of damaging winds and large hail over tornadoes. So we're not overly concerned for that threat, especially given that the storm coverage so far has been tied to the very far eastern portion of Ohio. So luckily, looks like we're not going to see much in the way of activity further to the west, although we still could. I'm not going to rule that out. But right now, it does look to be more so tied to the eastern portion of the state. So far in Ohio, we've had 3 severe hail reports. And so far in Pennsylvania, they've only had 1 that I see on radar here. We also have a wind report now coming out of Pennsylvania in Stoneboro. Actually, it's not. It's actually a damage report of 80-foot pine trees that are down in Stoneboro. So that's to be expected with days like today. We're still not seeing much in terms of rotation. So here's our airport radar, which is a lot closer to the ground than what Pittsburgh's beam is. So for example, the Pittsburgh beam to this location is roughly about 3,500 feet. But with the airport radar, though, we're talking more so roughly, this is going to be roughly right around 2,000 feet. So it's not a big difference with this. It's still a good difference, about 1,000-foot difference here where that radar beam shoots up into the atmosphere. It might be missing a few things. So the airport radar especially gives us a good idea of what's happening further to the ground or closer to the ground here. So it's a great tool that we have here in the area. But right now we're seeing this area here, probably a good gusty winds along this line here where this red and green are sort of like coming together there. It's not rotation by any means, but that's likely going to be indicative of a gust front here uh, with this uh, with this line of storms. They finally did a warning for Youngstown after honestly too long. But Youngstown now is in the warning. This is going to be for ping pong ball size hail as well as 70 mile per hour winds now. Is that confirmed now or is that just radar indicated? Wind threat is observed. So the observed, okay, so this storm now has confirmed 70 mile per hour winds with it heading into the Youngstown area. So this is going to be a interesting next couple of minutes here out of Youngstown. Probably going to be a lot of power outages flowing in, as well as some probably hail damage as well with these storms. So at long last, they went ahead and issued that warning for the Mahoning County area for Youngstown proper. Although this warning up here to the north here in Trumbull County is still in effect until 5. Actually, they extended that again. Actually, no, it expires in 1 minute. So we'll see what they do with that one. But, oh, I see. They didn't. Okay. They extended the warning further south. I see what they did there. So they waited for that other warning to expire and they extended it further south. So Trumbull, you guys are still under that warning as well as Mahoning County as well. They extended that for another 45 minutes. Although if these will be passing pretty quickly here. So definitely it won't take 45 minutes to get these storms up and past you guys. Looking at a few of the VIL products here for the hail size. So your hail core, that's almost maxed out over Brookfield Township there. I would hate to be up in the Yankee Lake area. Luckily, no reports yet out of that area, but I'd expect to see quite a few reports of severe hail, perhaps closer to ping pong ball size up in that area. Check out the winds here. Not seeing anything too much to be concerned about in the winds. Obviously, like I said, radar is only a tool that we use. It's not perfect. In this case, they're getting reports of severe winds that have been confirmed or measured by somebody. I'm not sure what the source on that is, but judging by radar, I wouldn't say be overly concerned with that threat. But of course, being that there is a warning in effect that says it is observed, we have to respect that. Radar does not always tell us the 100% full story. So far, 3 severe hail reports, Warren, Cortland, a couple in Cortland actually. Waiting for some more to flow in here. Likely to have more coming in as the evening goes on. Taking a look back further west where that watch is in effect until 11 p.m. Still nothing forming over here to the west of these storms near Akron back to Mansfield. These storms over Canton and Alliance seem to be popping out or fizzling out, should I say. Likely having issue breaking the cap probably. But as this evening goes on, likely going to have some more development, although it's not a guarantee we're going to have more development. We're likely to have additional storms here through the evening. So it looks like Youngstown is going to be in the first batch of this right now. Looks like most of the hail is directly to your north. And that area over here is looking interesting in Pennsylvania near Clintonville. Might be some... check that out in Pittsburgh real quick. New warning just got issued. I'm not sure for where. I'm assuming probably Pennsylvania somewhere. If there's going to be any tornadoes today, it's likely going to be in Pennsylvania. All right, getting a report now from an ASO station. So looks like an airport or some kind of measuring mounted measuring station for winds, temperature, dew point, etc. Looks like it measured 68 miles per hour on the winds here at Youngstown Warren Regional Airport. Go ahead and take the other screen here. Let's on mine. It is right there. So right here, just north of Vienna Township here. This is where it was at there. So 68 miles per hour, that's pretty strong winds there. So this storm right here is the main culprit of that. Heading into the New Bedford area. This should miss Youngstown proper, so that's great news. But judging by the reports that we're getting out of these storms, I'd still be inside at the very least. Let's shoot back down here to the Pittsburgh radar and take a peek at our velocity. So this is probably what was prompting that 70 mile per hour gust. We see some brighter returns there on our wind velocity screen here. That's likely what caused that gust. Go ahead and back this up here and track this. So it happened right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, so we can easily track that back. So it looks like it shifted more so further to the east here. But still, if there's going to be winds, let's be heading into Youngstown right now. Definitely possibility we could get some severe winds in Youngstown. Although right now it looks more so likely further to the east. All these warnings currently are for 1-inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds. This one in western Pennsylvania is for 1.25-inch hail, so just over a quarter size. This one for the Trumbull and Mahoning County area is going to be for ping pong ball size hail. Train weather spotters reported a gust to 68, or sorry, the regional airport reported that gust. So I hope Michigan doesn't get hit this week. Michigan would likely, if there's going to be a threat in Michigan, it's going to be for Wednesday, more than likely, perhaps Tuesday overnight. Although I know you're at Jordan up there in Flint. I don't think you're going to be, at least for right now, don't quote me on this, it could change later, but right now the threat does appear to be to your south, further toward the borders of Indiana and Ohio. So we'll be watching that for you, though. Anna says that she wants rain. We just had a bunch of rain up here, though, a couple days ago. But we will be looking at some rain chances upcoming week here, probably again Tuesday, Wednesday area. If not severe storms, and probably some good rain. Yeah, these storms are not doing much of anything down here. I expected these to take off, honestly. But they didn't, so that's great news. So if this clears the state here without any significant new development, go ahead and hop back off here. If anything else happens through the evening, we'll go ahead and hop back on tonight. But at this point in time, this is going to be tied to the very extreme eastern portion of the state of Ohio here. So now we have a new report of hail, again, 1 inch in diameter. So we have 4 reports now coming out of the area. The good news is they'll be moving into Pennsylvania out of our viewing area momentarily. Latest VIL product here is 10 minutes old on that screen. Do I have a new one on this one? I do. So your latest VIL product, which is your hail tracker, it just updated for me. Okay, cool. So this area north of Churchill over toward Brookfield Township, again, repeatedly getting into this hail area. So Hubbard, you guys probably can get some good size hail with this storm. Youngstown proper, though, looks to be escaping the majority of this. So that's great news. They just trimmed that warning back now. Go ahead and take a peek at that. So it's now for 1.5-inch hail, so half dollar size, or no, is that larger? Ping pong. Go ahead and say ping pong ball, and still 70-mile-per-hour winds with this warning here with this storm. This was confirmed to be 70-mile-per-hour winds. It wasn't just radar indicated. It was confirmed. We're seeing a good correlation, not correlation, but a good velocity signature over in Pennsylvania near New Wilmington. That's likely going to be a pretty good gust over there in those areas. Do we have it on the Pittsburgh radar? We might. Yeah, we do. All along this line needs to be watched here as it moves into Pennsylvania. Might be interesting to see how that trends. But for our viewing area over in Youngstown, you guys currently are just experiencing a lot of heavy rain, lightning, likely some smaller, maybe some larger type of hail with these storms, as well as some gusty winds. Although radar currently does not indicate that the winds are too strong in the area, it does contain a warning at least for 70-mile-per-hour winds. So I'll have to respect that. But this is moving out of the area into Pennsylvania in the next probably about 10, 15 minutes. Once that happens, we'll likely hop off here. Our next threat will be on Tuesday. We do have a threat this evening still for Ohio, although at this point in time, I'd say nothing's going to really catch our eye, at least for right now, which is great news. Yeah, we're almost actually into Pennsylvania here, so. About probably 3 or 4 more scans will be probably off of here. Yeah, these really just did not want to. They tried for a while, but they just didn't want to do it. Given the environment today, though, it's kind of weird because we do have a lot of instability. Excuse me, a lot of instability here in the area. But we do have a cap in place, which is kind of capping the atmosphere, which kind of limits storm potential a little bit. In this case, that might be what's happening with those storms. But this is actually quite an interesting warning box over here in Pennsylvania. It's almost like a complete square. This entire line is just one big warning we're seeing. I've never really quite seen that before. I'll take that back. We had something similar to this in Grand Rapids over here in Michigan a while ago, a few years back. But this is something you don't really see this every day, where the entire line is just warned. All along this line, though, may have potential. This area right here, New Wilmington, that has a lot of wind potential. But we're seeing this almost looks to be like a QLCS type of look here, where it could have some spin up tornadoes trying to occur across this line. I don't think it's a very high threat in Pennsylvania today, but it's definitely a possibility worth mentioning here. But the last of the storm here is currently over Hubbard, about to move into the Pennsylvania area. So Youngstown, you guys are on the backside of that storm in the clear. I'm not going to say in the clear just yet, but the worst of it's past you, but still stay indoors with the lightning and everything happening. Maybe some remnant hailstones falling out of the sky as well. Likely need about 10 to 15 more minutes for the all clear is given for Youngstown. But Hubbard is really the only place here. Maplewood Park down toward Campbell. You guys should be in the clear here momentarily. This is moving pretty rapidly into Pennsylvania here. It should be clearing the state line in about, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes. Again, back here further to the west here, we do have that watch still in effect, although nothing at this point in time is really showing its face to pop up. There's your watch. It goes all the way back toward Mansfield. So it's a good portion of eastern Ohio here, but the activity is definitely tied further to the east. Let's go ahead and do a few little experiments here with this product here. Let's go ahead and turn on our power outage overlays. Let's see what's happening here. Nothing. Not as at this point in time for Trumbull County or Boardman, or not Boardman, but for Mahoning County as well. There's nothing here popping up on power outage overlays. At least not yet. It could be a little bit early. Over in Pennsylvania, there's a couple of those, but for Ohio, at least, we're not seeing that, at least at this point in time. Looks like there's a new warning issued, but likely going to be for Pennsylvania. The latest scan here is about one more scan will be out of Ohio here, so we'll stay on for that, and then we will be off here. And then if anything else forms to the west, we'll likely hop back on and go live again. But for right now, that was just a quick hitting line of storms. Produced a lot of severe hail. One severe gust that was measured, probably likely a couple other ones that didn't get reported. Likely some damage in the area, but overall, that was a pretty quick and pretty localized threat there that occurred. This watch does continue until 11 p.m. Not sure they're going to cancel that early or adjust it. I'm not sure how they're going to approach that. But the environment across eastern Ohio does continue to support severe weather. So if any storms do fire up further to the west, they will carry a severe threat. At this point in time, though, that is not happening. And what I mean by that is it's not forming at this point. It's completely empty on radar here. So that is great news. There's your radar. There's nothing there further to the west. Everything at this point in time is in Ohio. A couple sprinkles down here. Salem. I came out of Canton Alliance area heading in toward East Liverpool. You guys don't have anything to worry about with that. The severe threat does look to be tied right now in Pennsylvania. Here is a report in Warren. Remember, we talked about the Warren area getting pounded by hail. Well, there is one report out of the Warren area of 1.75 inch hail. That is golf ball size hail in the city of Warren. So likely, if that is confirmed, we have some damage to probably a lot of damage in the city of Warren there. We actually have a report now just to the south there as well of a trained spotter reporting 1 inch hail. These occurred roughly at the same time, 1 minute apart. So, but with that being said, though, these storms are now out of Ohio, completely in Pennsylvania. So you guys in Youngstown, Mahoning County, Trumbull County, you guys are all in the clear. And currently in Ohio, you guys, everybody in Ohio is actually in the clear at this point. So with that being said, I'm going to hop off here. And like I said before, if anything else does happen to go severe or form and go severe, we will be back on here live streaming. But at this point in time, there is absolutely no reason for me to stay on here and cover nothing. So with that being said, I'm going to hop off here. We'll be back on here tomorrow at the very latest tomorrow morning around probably the noon time frame to talk about Tuesday and Wednesday's severe weather update. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I'm going to log off here. Hope to see you guys tomorrow, but if not, I'll be back on here tonight. So stay safe, guys.